Hey guys! Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a double crochet for left-handed crochet beginners, and I'm going to be showing you how to do it from starting in a chain foundation. So if you were going to be working your double crochets in rows, so going back and forth instead of going around and around. Okay, so let's begin. So far here I have chained 12. And if you're not sure how to make a chain, I do have a video for that, and I'll put the link for that down below. Okay, so I have, again, chain 12. So go ahead and do that. And once you have your chain 12, if you see this loop right here is the first chain next to your hook. You're going to skip 2 chains, and you're going to work your double crochet into that third chain. The reason why is your double crochet is a tall stitch, and you're going to use these 2 skip stitches to bring up the height of your work so that it doesn't look all kind of crooked. So you're going to skip this one and this one, and you're going to work into the third chain from the hook. Okay, so first you're going to wrap the yarn around your hook. Okay, count down 1, 2, 3, and in that third chain you're going to put your hook, insert it from front to back, and you're going to be working on these top chains. Okay, once you have your hook in, you're going to grab your yarn and you're going to pull it, and then you pull that loop up on the hook so that you can work it easily. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Okay, you're going to go and take that working yarn and you're just going to put it in that little groove of your crochet hook, and you're going to pull it through 2 loops on the hook. Okay, this here, what you've just created, is what's called the stitch post. So that's that. See, it's a tall stitch, so it kind of matches up with those 2 skip stitches that we just did. Okay, now we're going to take our crochet hook again, go behind that yarn, that working yarn that we're holding with our other hand, and we're just going to put that yarn into the little groove of our crochet hook, and we're going to pull it again through 2. And there we've created our first double crochet. So here's the stitch post, and if you look on the top of our stitch has, it looks like a little V right there. That's what your stitch should look like. And just a couple tips for you guys. When I'm holding my crochet hook, I put the hook in my hand, and then I take my middle finger and my thumb, and I just kind of pinch my work just to kind of keep it sturdy so things don't go all floppy for me. And then I take the working yarn. So the working yarn is the yarn here that's connected to the ball of yarn still. And I take these 3 fingers and I just use that to kind of grab the yarn with whatever feels comfortable for you. Grab up that yarn with those 3 fingers, and then you take your index finger and you go under that yarn and pull up. So now you've got a little bit of yarn here, and as you can see, it'll slip through your fingers easily as you're working along. Okay, and then I like to take my middle finger. I guess I hold the yarn here with these 2, the ring and the pinky finger. And then I take my middle finger and my thumb and I grab close to where I want to be working. So even the chain here I kind of have grasped in my 2 last fingers. And then I'm kind of sturdying my work so that I can work easily within it with the middle finger and thumb. So that's just a tip for you there. All right, so let's go ahead and we will do the rest of the double crochets here. I'll slow it down for you so you can just follow along. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, Pull the working yarn through. Pull the loops up onto your hook, ensuring that they are not too tight. Grab your working yarn and pull it through 2 of the loops on your hook. Grab the working yarn again and pull it through the last 2 loops on the hook. One more time, yarn over, insert your crochet hook into the next chain, pull the working yarn through, pull the loops up onto the hook, grab your working yarn and pull it through the first 2 loops. Grab your working yarn and pull it through the last 2 loops on the hook. Continue working down your chain until you get to the last chain, and I will meet you there. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of my chain, but if you see here, you can see there's another little chain that's really close to that slip stitch that I did at the very beginning. So be sure not to miss that. So yarn over, and sometimes it's a little bit snug to get your crochet hook into that last chain. So it is a good idea just to, when you are creating your foundation chain, just to chain it really loosely. Pull through, pull up so that your stitches aren't too tight on your needle. Wrap that yarn so it's nicely in the groove there. Pull it through 2, wrap, and pull through 2. Okay, so you remember we started with 12 chains and we skipped these first 2, so we should be left with 10 double crochets. And how we count that is if we look at the top, and we can see these really nice V's right here at the top of our stitches. We're going to count each and every one of those V's. So we should have 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is just at the end of my crochet hook right there. Okay. So now if we want to continue working in our rows, so we're going to go back the other way. What we need to do here is when we get to the end is we're going to chain 2. Just like how we skip these 2 stitches here to build the height up for our stitches that are tall, that's why we need to chain 2. So we're going to just pull the working yarn through our stitch for 1, pull it through again, and that's chain 2. Okay, now you'll go ahead and turn your work. And if you notice at the bottom of your chain 2s, you'll see a stitch right here. There's a hole where you can go into. So that's where we're going to put our first double crochet. So we'll yarn over, wrap our yarn, go into that first chain stitch that's at the that first stitch that's at the bottom of the chains there. Okay, so go in, wrap our yarn under and into that groove, pull it through, pull our stitches up onto the hook, bring our yarn in front and into the little groove of the crochet hook, pull through 2, grab your yarn, pull through 2. Okay, and then you'll continue working across until you get to the end. Now if you notice this end one, if we follow them along here, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, sometimes that one, as we get to the end and we're working into it, gets kind of tucked around or a little bit harder to see. So when you're first starting out, a good tip is to count your stitches in your row so you're sure that you haven't missed any stitches, otherwise your work will start to go just a little bit crooked on you. Okay, and that is how you do the double crochet stitch starting from a chain foundation. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.